Hi everyone, welcome back. In this video, we will do hands-on activity of application load balancer. Okay, so the very first thing is because we will do activity for load balancer. It means we need EC2 instances. So first we will create EC2 instance and then we will create ALB. So first click on launch instances and give some name. So this I would say EC2 instance 1, right? And we can create multiple instances right away. So we'll just need to specify a number of instances. So for example, I'll specify 2, and this is fine. This is free tier eligible. This is also fine, free tier eligible. Key pair we can give, so I'll just specify this one, and everything looks good. It will create a new security group, and what we want to allow is allow SSH traffic from anywhere and allow HTTP traffic from the internet. So this is also fine. This is fine. The storage is fine. Okay, in the advanced tab, this is all fine, but I just want to write something in the user data so that we can differentiate the environment. So in this one, in nothing but we are just installing the HTTP server and we are writing learning is fun, and maybe I'll write instance 1. This is instance 1. Okay, actually I need to create it separately because, so I'll just write it 1 here, and this is, what is the name, EC2 instance 1. So I'll create another instance because I want to keep separate EC2 data, user data. Okay, so the all looks good. Let's launch the instance. Let's create another instance. Say EC2 instance 2, right? This is all same, everything is same, and I can actually specify the existing group which I must be created just right away. So it's okay, I'll just allow HTTP traffic, and in this one I'll just write instance 2, launch instance. So select an existing key pair. Yes, existing key pair we can select EC21 launch instance. So we just created 2 EC2 instances. Now we'll create a application load balancer. So here, if we go to load balancing, load balancers, we can create load balancer. Click on create load balancer, and here it will display the options available. So application load balancer, network load balancer, gateway load balancer. The classic load balancer is not coming here because it's the previous generation one, rarely used. So maybe in the future releases they are going to remove this classic load balancer at all. So, and the description is also given that for which case we can use which one. I have created separate videos for it. So for example, application load balancer, when you need a flexible feature set for your application with HTTP or HTTPS traffic. So it supports HTTP and HTTPS traffic. Network, choose a network load balancer when you need ultra high performance, TLS of loading at scale, etc. And it handles millions of requests per second securely while maintaining ultra low latencies, etc. So TCP, UDP protocol, TLS for security, and then the gateway load balancer we have. So let's create application load balancer, create, and then load balancer name. So let's say my ALB. Okay, scheme is internet facing, and internet facing load balancer routes request from client over the internet to target. That is what we want. And IPv4 address, yeah, this is fine. Network mapping is fine. in which availability zones we want to create this application load balancer. We will just create in US East 1A and US 1 East 1B. I can select more also, that is fine. And then security group, listeners, okay, which protocol, HTTP on 80, that is fine. Listener, load balancer, tags, those are optional, etc. And finally the summary, right? So let's create load balancer. Okay, it will say name must be unique within your AWS account and can't be changed after this. Only hyphen and hyphens are allowed, so no space is allowed. I'll just write this one, my ALB, create load balancer, and it says okay, you must select at least one target group. So at the time of I explained application load balancer, I also explained we need to create target groups, and this routing will happen to target group. EC2 instances will be associated with the target group. We need to create a new target group. So click on this create target group, and it will say choose a type. So instances, yes, we want to create it for EC2 instance, so we can create it for IP address, lambda function, or another application load balancer, that is possible. Target group name, so I'll say my ALP target group. Okay, and then this is fine. HTTP IPv4, this is all fine. Protocol version, it suppose send request to target only HTTP1 or HTTP2. I'll select this one, and HTTP1 is also fine to be true, and then this is fine, this is fine. Tags are optional. Click on next, and the available instances, we created 2 instances, EC2 instance 1 and 2. So let's add both instances. Yeah, 2 selected. So create target group. We just created a new target group here. Let's refresh it, and here we can now select the target group. Also one more thing, I think the security group I have not created, it was just the default one, security group. So let's create another security group as well. Create a new security group because I want to allow HTTP traffic. So create my demo security group. Description is fine. Inbound rules, let's add the inbound rules. So I want to allow all HTTP room traffic, source anywhere, so let's remember my demo security group. Yeah, this is created. Outbound rules are fine, and let's create security group. Description is required, so I'll just same here also. Okay, the security group is also created. I'll just add it. Let me refresh and add it. So that is also added. Scroll down, and let's create the load balancer. So the load balancer is created, and what we can see here is the details. Current state is provisioning, right? The VPC details, scheme, etc. Availability zones, I selected 2, right? On protocols, etc. Everything is there, and DNS is also created, which is a record. I'll talk about it, but if I copy this and if I paste it here, okay, it's still provisioning. Let's wait for some more time. This is still provisioning, that's why it was not working, but we can select it, we can see all the information. Let's wait. So now it is active, that is provisioned. And if I try to access the same ALB DNS now, I'll just refresh it, and I'm getting this 503 service temporarily unavailable error. So this will happen when the ALB is of course active, but the target group which it is associated, right? It is the target is not added target. So what we will do, we'll just go and we will go to the listener and rules, and here we should see the target group what we had created earlier. So click on that, and for this target group we see there are no registered target. I think I by mistake I missed it. So click on register targets, and I had created two EC2 instances. So select, I want to put it for both. And click on include as pending below, and now I have selected both the targets, register pending targets. Okay, now another thing is that I had two EC2 instances, correct? So I'll go to the EC2 instances, the one I had created, and click on EC2 instance. So if I click on the first EC2 instance, this is the public IP for address. I copy it, and if I open it and I enable it for HTTP port, so if I just access this, then I'm getting this learning is fun instance 2. But if I access the another EC2 instance, and this time I copy this one, so instance 1, so I'm getting it. Okay, now I'll access my ALB. If I refresh it now, okay, now I can also see that if I go to my ALB, this is my load balancer, right? And let me go to the target group. What is the health check? So health status for both of the instances is showing healthy. Okay, so now if I go back here and I refresh this page, yes, so I have two EC2 instance behind this ALB. So first one EC2 instance is right now serving the request, now second, now the first, now the second, and so on. So the ALB started working, right? So that's it in this video. What we have seen is how we created ALB, we created security group, we created target, and we added the registered the EC2 instance in the target, and that is how it started working. That's it in this video. Thank you so much for watching.